This year, 3AW celebrates 80 years on the air, and we'll be having some memories in just one program that I don't think I've ever done, maybe once in 50 years of radio, and that's overnight, midnight to dawn, as we called it.
You've missed out.
And when I first got into radio, there was only one station doing midnight to dawn, and that was 3XY, and they'd been doing it from the 40s, never off the air. They called themselves.
When did AW start its overnights?
Well, we used to close down most of the stations, including 3KZ, 3DB, UZ, all closed down about 11:30, 12 at night after the playing of the national anthem, and that's when we ceased transmission and opened at 5:30 for breakfast the following morning. So not many stations went midnight to dawn. The only exception was 3XY and 3AK, believe it or not, when they were in I think they were in Burke Street or Column Street years and years ago, were a midnight to dawn station.
Ah, interesting.
So very few did it, because people, they weren't attuned to listening at that late time. Everyone would be off to bed early because it was a 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock start.
Yes.
So in their wisdom, they thought, well, there's not many people who'd be tuning in midnight to dawn.
Yes. So to actually, with a smaller population and people not as many shift workers, I guess.
That's right.
You're looking at a much smaller audience than you've got now.
Yes, yes. Some of the early ones I remember on XY, your mate Bizzo, Nico on the Bizzo, what's his name?
Ian Nichols.
Ian Nichols did it for 3XY. Colin McEwen.
Ah, yes.
Was very good at it.
Great name, yes.
Peter, the ABC announcer, Peter.
Pan, James.
No. Breakfast on 3LO.
Peter Evans.
Peter Evans, yes.
Yeah.
He did 3XY's Midnight at All. But let's look at 3AW through the years and the people who graced our midnight hour, including David Mann and the Man Hours.
David Mann with the Man Hours and Roxy Music in the Midnight Hour. I've got a gentleman on the line whose name is Jeff Chamberlain, and he is a director of the Loaded Dog. And you say, what in the world is the Loaded Dog? Well, I'll ask the questions. We will learn together. But I've got an idea it's something very exciting and something very much a part of Melbourne. Good evening and welcome to AW, Jeffrey.
Hello, David. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You've had a big day.
I've had a big couple of days, actually.
Tell us, what is the Loaded Dog?
The Loaded Dog is actually the Loaded Dog Pub Brewery, which is situated in North Fitzroy. It's the old Aberdeen Hotel, David, which has become now the Eastern State's first operating pub brewery. So
you can actually go there, and can you still sit and have a drink and look at the beer being brewed? Yes, well, the whole concept relates around microbrewery being put into a hotel. It sits on the front of the hotel facing St George's Road, right in the corner of Holden Street, and it's like, if you like, a large aquarium where you can actually watch each stage of the brewing production whilst enjoying the wares of that brewery. So we're talking about a normal hotel, as in the licensing laws. All right, well, we'll leave it there with David Mann and the Man. It seems like one big ad, doesn't it?
Yes, but I'm sure there was I'm sure there was entertainment later on. That was from 1986.
Yes.
Let's up ourselves to 1990, when a personality from Channel 9 came over to 3AW to do overnight. Yes. And that was Hal Todd.
Hal Todd, and he was only there for a relatively short time, I understand.
Right. He was very popular too. I remember listening in, and there'd be a lot of university students up late, and he drew their attention quite a lot.
And this audio we're about to play, Bruce, is actually Hal Todd's last show, just as he signs off before the 5:30 news.
I'm looking at the time because I want to play you my theme up to the very end. I think that's important because you've always liked it. I know when I started off I had music to thump by, well, you called it, and I enjoyed that until a man phoned one night and said his little dog used to run out every time I played it, and that was I can't even Flatbush City Limits, I think. Then we changed to another theme, then we came up with that happy feeling, and it's one that you've become very used to. And I'd like to go out on that, but in fact I don't think there's any point in taking any more calls other than saying to you the last year and a half have been very unusual for me in radio here. I thank Mike Peterson, who is now up in Channel 7 in Sydney, for giving me the opportunity of coming to the station. I doubt whether Dennis would have given me the opportunity. I like Dennis O'Kane. He's a nice man. As I said before, with a lovely family. He's got a hard cross to bear. But Peterson was a different type of bloke, as Dennis is different to Peterson, and that's very good, because the guy who'll come after Dennis will be different again, and that makes the game. But I say this to all the youngsters who work here and who work in the industry anywhere in Australia, that as you pass, put out a friendly hand, because that's the thing of keeping a person's dignity and its dignity in its right perspective. Because unless you have dignity and pride in your work and pride in the achievement of your work, you have nothing. If you have to take a position in this or any other industry I'm talking about, because this industry is no different to selling fish and chips or anything, if you have to take a position where you're actually being a suck, I don't like the word, but a suck to your employer, and you spend your time sending dirty little promotions around that upset people before they're ready to start work, and I've seen it happen in radio before, not in the old days. I've seen it happen here, and seen it happen here too often. Then you're not worthy of the industry. So to the youngsters in the industry today, I wish you good fortune. I wish you many, many years of employment. I wish you much success in what you're doing, but never forget that the other person, the person working next to you, may have fears, may have problems that you're not even aware of. So always be prepared to put out that little hand, as it were, because it doesn't hurt to carry somebody on. Good night to you. Sleep tight. May the right piece of night be with you. Thank you to Graham. Thank you to Craig. And thank you to the staff who were kind to me here. Don't forget, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Nothing has happened. Nothing more.
Ah, there we are. That's tinged with a little sadness there, as Hal Todd says goodbye for the last time from his stint on overnight radio.
Yes. Only, as he said, only there for a year and a half, and Dennis O'Kane as program director or general manager, was he?
Yes, he was general manager at that time.
Made the appointment of bringing Keith McGowan across to take the reins from Hal.
From 3AK.
Yes, because Keith had been on 3AK for
we were with him. Darren James and I were doing breakfast with him.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings us to our next slot, where Keith McGowan contributed many, many years.
22 years. 21 years, I think it was, that he did mid-dawns here.
Amazing, a very long journey.
Yes.
On a very tough shift, and I say that from the point of view of finishing here at 5:30, then trying to find sleep.
Yep.
In the middle of a busy, noisy day.
Yep.
And then front up following for midnight. And to do that for 20-odd years, that's a considerable effort.
That is, yes.
And he did it with a great deal of enthusiasm and a great deal of keenness for his listeners.
Yes.
And he made it almost a daytime program.
Yeah.
He made it with Christmas parties, teddy bear picnics.
Yes.
Picnics by the Yarra. He made it a daytime program.
And left on his own terms, which is a rare thing in this industry, isn't it?
So we salute Keith McGowan with his look at overnight radio.
Good morning, Bev.
Oh, hi, Keith. I was just thanking you very much for all the wonderful laughter you caused me to have tonight. I've been sick, and you can tell by this that it's so darn hot and everything, and you really have got a sense of humour. Some people don't always think that, do they?
Thank you very much.
And I love your music.
Appreciate it.
I love your music.
Mm-hmm.
And my radio station's on 3UZ all the time.
Is it?
Yeah, honestly, and that's a lie, because Saturdays I listen to the races. I'm a bit of a racing nut.
Right, cool.
But other than that, you know, from Ross and John or Keith, I don't always listen to you right through because I never get any sleep. But
Right.
you've got a good mob in there, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good here at 3UZ.
Anyway, I'm pleased to speak to you, Keith.
Okay, love, it's marvellous to hear from you, and I thank you for calling. And you keep listening to us on 3UZ, okay?
Yep, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice to come home to 3UZ.
Wonderful radio.
Isn't that funny?
Wonderful radio.
And it's, you know, it's been a year almost to the day. I think it was just over this weekend that Keith McGowan retired.
Yes, I think I heard Andrew and Mark talking about them taking over about a year ago.
Yes, that's
this
right.
week or last week.
Yes.
And we can't not mention the overnight radio without saluting Andrew and Mark.
Yes, Captain Midnight and his
Who
sidekick.
are currently on the air and in the chair from midnight to the wee small hours.
On Melbourne's own 3AW, Andrew McLaren.
Wow. There we go with Ernie Fields getting us, I hope, in the mood for what is now the 25th of July. A very good morning, everybody, and welcome to this particular day of 2011, can it be? And I think a bit of a new era. I guess it is, really, Mark, have to say, wouldn't it?
Huge shoes to fill in, as you mentioned in your
Gigantic.
article.
Only Gilmore's would sell them. This is overnight on 3AW, from McGowan to McLaren, and that little slice of exotic Eastern Europe, Mark Petkovic. Good morning.
A very good morning to you, Andrew McLaren. I hope you're well.
You know, it is,
Top of the morning to you, sir.
it's a bit of Serbia there and a bit of Germany, isn't there?
Oh, I'm a crossbreed.
You are, too.
Yes.
We all are. Who cares? We have, of course, no intention, absolutely no intention of emulating Keith McGee. There is only, and only ever will be, one Keith.
Absolutely.
I wonder if he's listening.
He may be listening. Mind you, you wouldn't have the aroma of that honey lemon drink you've got there at the moment. All there's a swarm of bees and, you know.
Well, that was prepared by the loving, the gorgeous Joanne for me. She said, oh, your throat may be a little tired by 5:30 in the
So
morning.
there's our look, our chapter in the 3AW story of overnight radio, which played an important part. We played the girls last Sunday night.
Cecile Blackman and
the Night Owls, who accompanied it, and now the boys.
Yes.
And, a great contribution from both.
I've got some great stuff for this segment next weekend with yourself and Darren James doing breakfast. Oh. And one or two little things have popped up on some highlight tapes that were sent to us.